Hi, and a very warm welcome. My name is Gaia, and today I am sharing with you 4 of my favorite tips to elevate your at-home yoga practice. And maybe I'll add on a fifth as well. The tips I'm about to share will really help you if you are perhaps struggling a bit with your at-home yoga practice, if consistency might be an issue for you, or if you just sometimes feel lost and don't really know how to do your at-home yoga practice. The first one might be a bit obvious, but bear with me, and that is deciding when you actually want to practice. Now, you might be the kind of person who really thrives on setting a specific time, specific day, and if that works for you, that is incredible. You can choose yoga as Mondays at 8, Wednesdays at 5, and so on and so forth. And then you can also treat it as any other appointment, as if you were going out to practice at the studio. You really get some more responsibility this way. You know that you do show up no matter what. A practice at home is not lesser than actually practicing at a studio. It is your commitment, it is your intention that makes a practice what it is. Now, if on the other hand, you are a person who does not like rigid schedules, just choosing when a practice feels better can do wonders. For instance, you might be a morning person, and so you decide that every morning you show up on your mat. Or you need perhaps a practice to cool down, so you decide, hey, evenings are my yoga time. You can also choose the frequency. So either if it's daily, a few times a week, there is really so much space for your individual preferences here that I'm confident you will find something that works beautifully for you. Tip number 2 is to follow along with a challenge. Now, YouTube is filled with incredible yoga challenges. I also have some yin challenges right here on my channel. If that interests you, I would personally recommend Yoga with Cassandra. She's someone I practiced with and still practice with, and her challenges really helped me progress in my practice long before I actually became a yoga teacher. Now, the reason why I love challenges so much is because they offer a natural structure. I find that oftentimes when we have to rely on ourselves, when we have to do mental prep work by ourselves, we tend to have a bit more resistance to actually doing whatever it is that we want to do, or in our case, our yoga practice. Now, challenges, they just guide you naturally through it. You don't have to decide, hey, which class am I taking next? You just push play on that playlist. You know which class you did the day before, and you know which class you're doing today. And that is just beautiful. It takes away all of the mental load, and you can just enjoy your practice and actually be consistent with your practice. Tip number 3 is to make your own playlists. Now, maybe you don't want to do challenges, maybe you have done a lot of challenges, or maybe you just don't want to be limited by the challenges. And in that case, a great way to actually support your practice is to create your own playlists as you go. Now, you can, of course, do your research in advance. I find that I really like just taking classes and then placing them in an appropriate playlist. I have playlists for more restorative sessions, shorter sessions, heat building morning classes. This, once more, like with the challenges, it takes away from the mental load. So whenever I decide to show up on my mat, I have those playlists so that I don't have to search for a video or maybe think, hey, this class is going to be perfect. And then I realize that it's focusing on an area that I have perhaps strained a bit and don't want to overwork. And this way, by curating my own playlists, I know exactly what I'm getting, and so it's super easy to just show up on the mat and do the practices. Another benefit of playlists is that you can really curate them for your advancement as well. Let's say your goal is a headstand. You can put together a playlist that's going to work on your shoulder mobility, on your core strength, on your inversions, and even actual headstand classes. And so this way you have your own little program to actually advance in a skill rather than just doing various classes and not really progressing in the area you actually desire to progress in. My 4th tip is actually a mindset change, and that is yoga is not something you do, it is a way you exist. I find this very powerful because when we see a form of exercise or a form of mindfulness as something that you do, it becomes a task you complete. And I find that that goes really against the full benefit of a practice such as yoga, because this is not something we just want to tick off our list. And also, tasks can evoke some resistance. We might not want to do something. And so, shifting your mindset from seeing yoga as something you do, but as a way you exist, can be extremely potent. Now, what I mean by this is just think how you are when you are on your mat. Think about how you feel when you have that centeredness, that connection with your body, with the ground. It alters you. It alters your mind into a state of being in the present moment, of really being in yourself. It is such a beautiful, mindful state. And so, why not see the entire practice as a way of existing in that state? My fifth little bonus tip is that your at-home yoga practice is just as valuable and just as worthy as if you're practicing in a studio. Now, a lot of people might not see it that way because the one component that truly is missing in our at-home practice is an instructor to actually correct you, to give you guidance. However, you can be your own instructor in that case. I suggest grabbing your phone, setting up your camera, and recording a practice, or just getting into certain asanas that you might have doubts about, just to see your form from the outside. Sometimes we might think our pose is a certain way, and then we can check on the video and see, oh wow, look, my hips could move further back. Or, oh, in Warrior 2, my back arm is dropping a little bit. And so just having that visual feedback makes it much easier to correct. And I promise you that once you do this, once you see where the corrections need to take place, you will automatically start correcting them. And once you check again, maybe with another video, you will see just how much progress you've actually made. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope the tips were helpful for you. I hope they will allow you to elevate and improve your at-home yoga practice. And I cannot wait to see you on your mat again. Thank you.